So for the next stop, we've come to the beautiful red or pink walled Badashahi Mosque. It's not far from the old town, and I must say it looks stunning. So this mosque was completed in 1673, and it is actually probably the most iconic landmark in Lahore. Now, you can visit if you want to during the day, as long as it's not during prayer time. Anyway, the mosque being there was actually a little bit coincidental because there happens to be a Badashahi Mosque food street. So I have to say, this looks all rather plush and upmarket. So good food, cleanliness, high quality facilities. Could be onto a winner here. For those who want a little bit of culture, there is a better view of the mosque once you go inside the food street and you don't get that barbed wire in the way. This is actually wall-to-wall dining establishments or carts or stalls. So I'm going to let Safdar choose because apart from anything else I can't read what half of the places say. So Lassi before or after?
Anytime.
Sorry?
Anytime.
Anytime, okay. For those of you who want to visit the mosque, just come to the end of the food street and this white arch signifies the entrance to the mosque. There's obviously some security here because I can see a search cabin and a metal detector. There's a place here selling something called tandoori chai. Chai is milky tea, and apparently the tea is dropped into the tandoor to heat up. I did try chai in an earlier video, and sorry, it's not my thing. The black teas, the green teas, I love them, but I'm going to pass, unfortunately. Whether it tastes any better or not, I'm sorry, I can't tell you. This is how they do it, apparently. Yes. They use these earthenware cups and they put them inside the oven. So plenty of alfresco spaces for people who wish to sit outside, but we've got our eyes on eating on the rooftop, which may well be semi-alfresco anyway. I'm feeling a bit thirsty. Let's go and have a little bit of lassi to get our juices going for the evening. We're going to have one that's neither sweet nor salty, a plain lassi. Something I've had before in other countries, Turkey, the Gulf and Iran, although they put mint sometimes in the yoghurt drinks in Iran. But it's rare in South Asia, in my experience, to be able to have it neither sweet nor salty. So there we are. It doesn't have that rich coating of butter or the skin of the yoghurt that the other one had the other day, although that one was rather sweet. I've seen the carton of milk in the yoghurt, no water, no ice involved. Still has an awful lot of the richness. Not quite the same thing. I do like that scoop of butter or yoghurt skin on top, but this is still more than passable, pretty decent. So we've arrived at our restaurant called Haveli, and as you can see, this place is huge. It goes all the way up to the rooftop. Whether we can get a table up there, I don't know. Whether it'll be too cold to eat up there, I don't know, but we're going to try. And how, folks, is that for a view for dinner? Pretty much unbeatable, I'd say. Anyway, on to the serious business of eating. So the food has arrived after Singer asked me whether I had any requests for Urdu or Punjabi music, which I know nothing about. We have reshmi kebab, which is minced chicken with spices cooked on a seek, like a seek kebab, which would be mutton or lamb. And we have mutton chops. Now, the last mutton chops we had were a bit scrawny, so I'm looking forward to these. They look much meatier. We have chicken malai kebab, which is the milder form of chicken kebab, like a tikka. And we have a gravy. We have a boneless chicken handi, which is a Lahore speciality. Handi, of course, refers to the pot that it's cooked in. And we have the most enormous naan here, with garlic, ginger, sesame seeds, black caraway seeds, the lot. And I forgot to add, not only do we have some chutneys and pickle here, we also have some fresh yogurt. Okay, starting off with the malai kebab. Wow, not so spicy, but it's as if they filled it with butter. It's that juicy. The naan is light, has a slight crisp to it, oozing with garlic, and not too doughy or heavy. A beautiful accompaniment to grilled meat, if I may say so. Now, time to try the reshmi, and this really did look juicy. I don't know how they managed to get it so juicy. Maybe I should have popped my head into the kitchen to see what they were doing. Wow, so soft and flavoursome. Just a gentle melange of spices to give it a bit of je ne sais quoi, but not blow your head off spice either. These reshmi or minced chicken kebabs have been a revelation on this trip. I never order them in the UK, even though they do frequently appear on the menu. If the kebab were dry, then I would definitely recommend adding yogurt, but this is so moist and juicy, I'm quite happy to have them on their own. Now, Muttonistas, the acid test is the quality of this mutton chop. Oh wow, you can taste the charcoal, the spices, the juicy red meat, the superb marination. Obviously I haven't tried all the dishes here, but I would say this is a bit of a must order if you come here. And unlike the ones that I jokingly had for dessert in Karachi, these have got lots of meat on, no scrawny chops here. And they're not overcooked either, they're beautifully done. Okay, they're not rare or medium, but for cooked through chops, they're right on the money. And don't forget, mutton is always that little bit leaner than lamb. So if you don't like fat on your meat, actually you'd probably prefer mutton. I do like the fat as well, so I like both. Now, time for that handi. That looks very rich, not too tomatoey. I would guess there's a little bit there. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some nuts involved in the cooking here as well. And right you are, mutton. This is a fantastic gravy. Not what I was expecting at all. It's like a spicy, nutty paste with only the tiniest hint of tomato. Very rich and creamy. So for those people who like sort of medium-style curries or gravies, you'd really love this. Now, I know handis do often appear on UK menus, but they're just basically a generic term in a lot of these restaurants, just to shove whatever curry they've just made into a handi pot. And again, the chicken is so moist and juicy, they've really pulled off a coup here because they've managed to cook it through without overdoing it, which a lot of places in this part of the world can be guilty of doing. Anyway, folks, I'm going to enjoy the beautiful view. I doubt there'll be any of this left on the table, but I'll be back with you when we're done. A sterling effort there. We couldn't quite manage it all off. A little bit of reshmi left. The naan completely defeated us. We couldn't even get through half of it. It was that big. But never mind. The food was top quality. I have to say the handi, I didn't know that handis traditionally used a nutty paste, but absolutely delicious and knocks the spots off nearly every other handi I've had. Okay, the one I had in Karachi was quite good, but it was a slightly different type of handi, which was quite tomatoey, but still very rich, and I'm wondering whether I missed something about the nuts there. And I'm pretty confident that any handi I order back in the UK from now on is unfortunately going to disappoint me, but there we are. So, just the tiniest bit of room left to have a little bit of kheer. Again, could be rice, could be semolina, but today it's the rice-based version of kheer. If you remember, it's rice, milk and sugar. And I'm going to see whether the Lahori version is any better than the Karachi version. Our suspicion is it's going to be exactly the same, but let's see. Yep, looks pretty similar, although this looks like it might be semolina based. So what we actually think this is ground rice. Now I can taste a little bit of cardamom, and obviously there are pistachios on top, so it is a bit different actually, but it's very pleasant really. It sort of got the consistency of a creme caramel, so this is a bit different to the versions I've had before. Well, it's pretty pleasant without being massively sweet, just something to sweeten my mouth after that heavy meaty fare. So as you can see, they do have them all stacked up there on top of the what looks like some sort of cabinet. That was about the right size for me. It was about the size of a wafer thin mint, if you understand that particular joke. So Muttonistas, that was an epic street food tour. We started off with the pani puri, the laddu pitu wallas, sorry about the poor pronunciation there, and then we moved on back to the old town of Lahore to have chicken tawa or tawa chicken, the beef keema, the egg and bean tiki, all of which were deliciously spicy, to the Badashahi Mosque, to the street food street adjacent to the mosque, where we had a glass of lassi, and then we moved up to the top floor of Haveli. Had mutton chops, we had Malai chicken tikka, we had reshmi kebab, and something that really took me by surprise, that nutty chicken handi, which was mild. So if you like your mild curries, that's one for you to consider. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you at this point. Much more to come from my tour of Pakistan. This is actually the last video from Lahore, but don't worry, we've got more coming your way. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, and don't forget, you can't beat a bit of mutton.